morning, students. In today class we'll discuss about the nuclear reactor. I think in the previous class we have discussed about the nuclear fission concept. What is a nuclear fission and who discovered nuclear fission? How we can explain nuclear fission by using a liquid drop model, and what is the mass defect in the nuclear fission process of uranium? How much amount of energy emitted, and also what is a chain reaction? What is a controlled chain reaction, uncontrolled chain reaction? What are examples for the controlled and uncontrolled chain reaction? And also we discussed about the simple diagram for chain reaction also given, and then what factors or what are the important factors we have to keep in our mind while discussing about chain reaction also we discussed, like critical mass, critical size, and also thermal neutron required. One more, neutron reproduction factor or neutron multiplication factor concept also have given in the previous class, and based on that we can go for a controlled chain reaction. Example you can take nothing but a nuclear reactor, which is also called atomic pile or nuclear pile. We'll discuss in this class. So about nuclear reactor. So the main purpose of nuclear reactor to produce nuclear energy. So main purpose only to produce nuclear energy, and by using a nuclear reactor, when we produce nuclear energy, the same energy can be utilized to produce electric power. And also if you want to convert in a sea's salt water to drinking water, we can use nuclear energy. Whenever if you want to make tunnels through the mountains for making railway tracks, we can use nuclear energy. And also in the laboratory, if you want to produce radioisotopes, so also we can use nuclear reactors. And for destructive means that is a different, only nuclear reactor we are using for a peaceful purpose. So the device which can produce nuclear energy is called as a nuclear reactor. So it is mainly used to produce nuclear energy. So main purpose to produce the nuclear energy, but later and also we can produce radioisotopes. Some of the isotopes also we can produce in the reactor, and this energy can also be used to produce electric power. So generally it is used to, the energy can be used to generate electric power also. So generally we are following thermal reactors also, or thermal power stations. Along with the thermal power stations, we can also use nuclear power plants. We can produce electric power, and also it is used to produce isotopes, radioisotopes, and later these isotopes we can use for various fields like industrial, medical, agricultural, biological, and archaeological different departments, fields we can use the isotopes for curing a cancer or thyroid problems, and also for plants, for monitoring the growth of the plant, and also if you want to find the age of the fossils or age of the rocks, age of the earth, so various purpose we can use the radioisotopes also. And also we can convert salt water to drinking water. To convert nuclear energy, we can use to convert salt water into drinking water also. Salt water into drinking water. And the same nuclear energy we can use to make tunnels while making railway tracks through the huge mountains. So to make tunnels, so we can use this nuclear energy also. So various uses are there in the by using a nuclear reactor. And the first nuclear reactor was designed by the scientist Fermi. Who first designed the nuclear reactor means the scientist Fermi. He only first reactor designed. He only invented the first reactor. The first reactor was designed by the scientist Fermi. He is also a great scientist who worked on radioactivity concept also, and he only designed the first nuclear reactor. But India's first nuclear reactor is Apsara. So nothing but Apsara. It is in Mumbai, like Baba Atomic Research Center is there. So there we have the first Indian nuclear reactor, Apsara. But here nowadays in the world there are a large number of nuclear reactors used for various purposes. But India also having a number of reactors for breeder purpose, and also for generating electric power, and also for research purpose. We are having a large number of the reactors. So in the coming years, almost nuclear reactors will occupy major role. So whenever we are having a less quantity of the water, so water resources gradually decreases means or coal decreases means instead of going for thermal power plants, we have to go for nuclear power plants. By taking a safety precautions, it can produce a lot of energy, and which is very useful also. But at the same time, if you are not used in a proper way, it is a very dangerous also, because it produces the radioactive radiations which are harmful to the human beings also. So the first nuclear reactor designed by the scientist Fermi. That's all. Next, we have three type of reactors. Nuclear reactors are of three types. One is nothing but power reactor. One type of nuclear reactor is a power reactors. In the name only we have the power. The purpose of the reactor to produce electric power. Generally, it is used to produce or generate electric power. So there are large number of the reactors in India also. For example, in Karnataka also we have Kaiga. So at Kaiga there is a nuclear reactor which is used to produce electric power also, and also different places we have the large number of the reactors. And one more, research reactors. And they are used for research purpose, and also to produce isotopes. For research purpose we can use these reactors. So generally whenever the names of the reactors are given, they are nothing but for research purpose. Names of the reactors. For example, we have one example we can write for this one. Apsara. It is one of the research reactor. And one more, Jarlina. It is also one research reactor. And one more, Dhruva. All these are Indian reactors only, and we are using for a research purpose. And one more, Cyrus. So for each and every reactor there will be abbreviation, but actually here Cyrus means a Canada-India reactor with US collaboration, United States of America, US collaboration you should take it. And one more also in Tamil Nadu also there, one reactor, Kalpakam, one mini reactor is there. So that is named as a Kalpakam. So KA mini reactor, MI, NI. So but the name appears to be quite different. Kamini. That's nothing but a Kamini also one of the reactor used for research purpose only. So Apsara, Jarlina, Dhruva, Cyrus, Kamini, and one more reactor also, Purnima, etc. All these are nothing but research reactors only. They are nothing but research reactors, and the majority of the reactors are in this will be in Tamil Nadu, but remaining majority will be in Trombay, that is in Mumbai, Baba Atomic Research Center, main reactors. But here if sometimes question may be asked, which of the following is a power reactor, and some names will be given. So whenever name of the reactor given, they are example for research reactors. Whenever a place is given, not a name of the reactor, like for example Karnataka, Kaiga, and Andhra Pradesh, Srisailam, and also Tamil Nadu, for example, Kalpakam, and also in Uttar Pradesh, Narera, and different Rajasthan, Rana Pratap Sagar. So this type of places given, they are example for power reactors. Here also you can take example at Karnataka, Kaiga. Kaiga, and also in Uttar Pradesh, Narera, and in Andhra Pradesh, Srisailam, and also in Rajasthan, Rana Pratap Sagar, and in Tamil Nadu also Kalpakam, and in Uttar Pradesh, Kakrapur. So all these are nothing but power reactors. In Maharashtra also one more reactor is there at Tarapur. So you have to understand one thing, whenever place is given, that reactor is nothing but power reactor. When name of the reactor given, that is nothing but research reactor. That you have to understand. And the third type of reactor is there, breeder reactor. Breeder reactor. So here the breed, it is a first two reactors are nothing but slow reactors only, thermal reactors, slow reactors. But the third one is a fast reactor, very fast reactor. The purpose of breeder reactor to convert non-fissionable material into fissionable material. For example, in the nuclear reactor, something of fuel is required. For example, in case of the cars, you are using a petrol or diesel or something of fuel. In a houses, you are using like a butane gas for cooking purpose. That is a fuel. Same way, in the nuclear reactor, if you want to run, something of fuel is required. Like uranium, plutonium, thorium, the type of fuels are required. So some of the fuels are easily fissionable with the slow neutrons, but some of the fuels are not useful. For example, uranium 92-235 can be fissioned with both a slow neutron and a fast neutron, whereas uranium 92-238 we can fission only with the fast neutrons. That is not useful. Correct. That's why we have to convert a non-fissionable material into fissionable material by using the breeder reactor. That process can be called as breeding. The process of converting, the process of, if you want to note down that one, or it is used to convert. It is used to convert non-fissionable material, non-fissionable material means your fuel into fissionable material, non-fissionable material into fissionable material, or fertile to fissile. Fertile means which is non-fissionable, fissile means fissionable. It is a fast reactor. Sorry, it is a fast reactor. So that process we are calling as breeding. Process of converting a non-fissionable material into a fissionable material is called as breeding. So these are the types of the reactors. These are the uses of the reactor. And it's a scientist who first designed the nuclear reactor. But in a nuclear reactor, if you want to run means the main important thing you have to understand, fuel. That's a very important nuclear fuel. So nuclear fuel means a naturally available uranium if you take. Generally uranium. So widely we are using uranium or plutonium. So uranium is having isotopes. That is nothing but uranium 90 to 235. Uranium 90 to 236. Uranium 90 to 238, but it is a rare element in the earth crust. We cannot find, almost negligible. And here 90, this will be 99.3% will be 99.3%. It is only natural available in the earth crust, but it is only 0.7% available, 0.7%. But which is useful for nuclear fission process? 235 only useful. Why it is useful means it can cause the fission process with both fast neutrons and slow neutrons, but availability very less in the earth crust. But it causes a fission only with the fast neutrons. But a fast neutron means there is a problem. Whenever we are sending a fast neutron to collide with the 238 uranium, it will penetrate and will come outside and go other side. So it will not break, and the fission process further not possible. That's why it is not much useful. But more quantity is there in the natural available, more quantity. So our aim is to convert some of this whatever uranium 235 is there, 0.7%, from 0.75% to up to 3% if you are able to increase the natural availability. So that can be called enriched uranium. So by using some of the breeder reactors or by using a natural available process, we have to increase the percentage of this fuel that can be called enriched uranium. That's important. Or sometimes by taking the uranium 92 to 238 in the laboratory, so we have to keep in the breeder reactor. When we will make it to collide with some of the particles, for example, it is made to bombard with one neutron, then what will be happen? Neutron means 0n1. 0n1 means it will be converted to one more element, and later it is emitting by beta particle or by emitting a neutron, so that will be converted into plutonium also. So by using the uranium, naturally available uranium 92 to 238, we can convert into plutonium also. So the first man-made element in the laboratory, plutonium. So plutonium naturally available, and also we can make in the lab also, and that's why widely we can use a plutonium in nuclear reactors also, or nuclear weapons also generally. So but mainly we are using uranium 92 to 235. That's only main problem. And one more important thing you have to remember, fast neutrons are not useful for fission process. Always we have to slow down the fast neutron, so that then only they will collide, and they will energy will be transferred to all the nucleons, then uranium can break and the process will be continued. That's why to decrease the speed of the neutron, we have to use some moderators like heavy water or graphite or beryllium. Such type of moderator you have to use to slow down the fast neutron. And one more important parameter you have to remember, the nuclear reactor must be in our control. Whenever a process is going on, so enormous energy or heat will be generated. If you are unable to control, the total reactor may be blasted. So earlier also some of the reactors blasted, like in Fukushima, and some of the places reactors are blasted. Once if a reactor blasted means the surroundings kilometers will be, the people or water resources will be affected. So because they will be contaminated, because dangerous radioactive radiations will enter into the atmosphere, and which leads to the leukemia or cancer, or which leads to the death also. That's why we have to control the total reactor by using a remote system like control rods. So that's also very important. And total surroundings of the reactor we have to construct with some concrete walls, a thick concrete wall or lead blocks, so that the radiations will not come outside. And the persons also who are working in the laboratories, they can wear some of the lead aprons, lead gloves, lead mask, and so that the radiations will not enter into their bodies also. And they will operate only with the mechanical tongs or remote systems, and so that by taking some precautions, it is easy to operate the nuclear reactors. Now we'll discuss what are the main parts of the nuclear reactor, and our schematic diagram also I'll give. Put the heading main parts of the nuclear reactor, or 1 second, a principle, am I right? What is the basic principle of the nuclear reactor, am I right? Principle of nuclear reactor. What is the basic principle? Already mentioned nuclear fission process or controlled chain reaction. Put the heading principle of a nuclear reactor. It works on the principle of It works on the principle of self-sustained. The word self-sustained, no need to confuse. One time only we have to start the reaction, we have to left itself, automatically it will be going on. That's only called self-sustained. It works on the principle of self-sustained, controlled, self-sustained, controlled nuclear fission process. Self-sustained, controlled nuclear fission process, or in bracket chain reaction. Self-sustained, controlled chain reaction or nuclear fission. Anyone right? Both same only. Self-sustained, controlled nuclear fission process. Next one, main parts of a nuclear reactor. Main parts of a nuclear reactor. Main parts of a nuclear reactor. Right, first one, nuclear fuel, FUEL. First part, right, and nuclear fuel. In that, right, what is a nuclear fuel means? Generally, nuclear fuel means what? Whatever the fissionable material we are using in the nuclear reactor can be called as nuclear fuel. Okay. The fissionable material, used in the nuclear reactor is called nuclear fuel. Fissionable material used in the nuclear reactor is called a nuclear fuel. It is taken in the form of, generally whatever the fuel we want to use, we must take in the form of solid rods. But sometimes you can take a liquid form also, but generally we are taking a solid rods. Taken in the form of solid rods and are inserted in aluminum cylinders. Inserted in aluminum cylinders. They are placed in, where we have to place this fuel means inside the reactor, which is also called core of the reactor. They are placed in the core of the nuclear reactor. They are placed in the core of the nuclear reactor. Generally, all this nuclear fuel, uranium, plutonium, thorium, so this type of total fuel we should take in the form of solid rods, and we can insert all these rods in the aluminum cylinders, and then they are kept inside the core of the reactor. Example, uranium, plutonium, uranium, plutonium, thorium, uranium, plutonium, thorium. So this type of fuel we have to consider. So whatever the nuclear fissionable material we are used inside the core of the reactor is called nuclear fuel, and they generally taken in the form of rods, and also they are kept inside aluminum cylinders, and then these cylinders are kept inside the central part of the reactor or core of the reactor. Whenever reaction going on, so the fuel will be consumed by the reactor. Once, for example, if a fuel was exhausted or over, then reaction come to a stop. By the time we have to operate the remote, and we should take aluminum cylinders outside. Again, we have to insert the fuel. Again, they will kept inside the core of the reactor. So uranium, plutonium, thorium. So the type of metals you have to take for nuclear fuel. Second one, if you want to control, if you want to slow down the fast moving neutrons, so something of metal is required. Whenever neutron is moving through graphite or heavy water, the speed, some of the energy of the neutron was absorbed by the heavy water, and then the speed will be decreased, and so that slow neutron easy to collide with uranium and can cause nuclear fission process. That's why whatever the metal used for slow down the neutron is called moderator. So the main purpose of the moderator, so 1 mark will be asked in PU level or in competitive exams also asked. The purpose of the moderator, not to control the reactor, only to slow down the fast moving neutrons. Example, graphite, beryllium, and also heavy water can be used as moderators. But these moderator should not capture the neutron, should not absorb the neutron. Only some of energy of the neutron must be absorbed. That's why it should have low atomic weight and poor absorbing property of the neutrons. That's very important. Now write second one, moderator. Second one, moderator. Moderator. Moderate. In that, right? The material used to slow down, the material used to slow down the fast neutrons, material used to slow down the fast neutrons is known as moderator. Material used to slow down the fast neutrons is known as moderator. It should have, next point, it should have low atomic weight. It should have low atomic weight and poor absorption property of, it should have low atomic weight and poor absorption property of neutrons. Poor absorption property of neutrons. But it should not absorb the neutrons. But it should not absorb the neutrons. But it should not absorb the neutrons. Example, graphite, comma, heavy water means deuterium oxide, graphite, comma, heavy water, beryllium, graphite, heavy water, comma, beryllium, etc. Heavy water, etc. So they are nothing but called moderators. They are only should take a moderator. The main purpose of the moderator to slow down the fast moving neutrons. That's important. Next one, control rods. Fourth one, third one. We should take a third property, control rods. Control, in the name only we have given control rods. The purpose of the control rods to control the nuclear chain reaction. That's important. Control rods, third one, control rods. So here inside the reactor, a nuclear fission process going on, chain reaction going on. Whenever if you want to stop the reaction or whenever if you want to start the reaction, the total process must be in our control. So for example, you are using some of the control rods. whenever the rods are pulled outside, the reaction will be going on automatically. Whenever if you want to start the reaction, we have to switch off the remote and all the control rods will go inside the reactor and they will capture all the neutrons so that the reaction will be stopped. That's why they should have good absorbing property of the neutrons, and they should not slow down the neutrons. They have to absorb the neutrons. That's why you should take a cadmium or a boron, so they can be taken as control rods. You can write the third one. To control the nuclear chain reaction, to control the nuclear chain reaction, to control the nuclear chain reaction, control rods can be used. To control the nuclear chain reaction, control rods can be used. When we pulled the control rods outside, when we pulled the control rods outside, when we pulled the control rods outside, the reaction will be started. The reaction will be started. Full stop. When or whenever we pulled the control rods inside the core, when we pulled the control rods inside the core of the reactor, when we pulled the control rods inside the core of the reactor, they absorb the neutrons. They absorb the neutrons and reaction will be stopped. They absorb the neutrons and the reaction will be stopped. Reaction will be stopped. Example, and one more, they should have the good absorbing property of neutrons. They should have the good absorbing property of, they should have the good absorbing property of neutrons. Good absorbing property of neutrons. Example, cadmium, comma, boron, comma, hafnium, cadmium, boron, hafnium, etc. So they are called control rods. So in the diagram we have shown these shaded, this part can be taken as control rods. So whenever if you want to stop the reaction, so this control rods will be pushed inside the core of the reactor, all the neutrons will be absorbed so that reaction will be stopped. Whenever if you want to start the reaction, we can pull the rods outside and the reaction will be automatically will be stopped. So depending started. So depending upon the purpose, we can pull inside or outside, and so that we can control the total nuclear chain reaction. And because of the nuclear chain reaction, a lot of energy and heat will be generated inside the reactor. From time to time, we have to remove the heat. Otherwise, the total reactor may be blasted. So if you want to remove the heat, something coolant we have to send, cooling system like chilled water, or maybe like a liquid sodium or liquid potassium, or maybe carbon dioxide we have to send inside, and the total amount of heat can be taken outside. That can be called a cooling system or a coolant. That is the fourth part we can write, fourth part of the reactor. Note down that one. Coolant. COOLENT, coolant or cooling system, both meaning same only, coolant or cooling system. In that, right, due to nuclear fission, a large amount of heat, due to nuclear fission, a large amount of heat will be generated, a large amount of heat will be generated in the core of the reactor. A large amount of heat will be generated in the core of the reactor. From time to time, we shall remove, from time to time we shall remove the heat, from time to time we shall remove the heat from the core of the reactor. We shall remove, from time to time we shall remove the heat from the core of the reactor. The material used for this purpose, the material used for this purpose, material used for this purpose is called a coolant or cooling system. Material used this purpose is called coolant or cooling system. Material used for this purpose is called coolant or cooling system. It should have high thermal conductivity. It should have high thermal conductivity. It should have high thermal conductivity. Whenever it is having a high thermal conductivity, easily it can absorb the heat and also taken the heat from the core of the reactor also. That's why it should have high thermal conductivity. Example, liquid sodium, comma, liquid potassium, liquid sodium, comma, liquid potassium, comma, chilled water, liquid sodium, comma, liquid potassium, comma, chilled water, comma, carbon dioxide, etc. are used as, carbon dioxide etc. are used as cooling system or coolant, or etc. are used as coolant or cooling system. And one more is also there inside the core of the reactor. It is, for example, the core of the reactor. In the nuclear fission process, a large number of the neutrons are liberated. First 3 neutrons, 9, 27 and so on, number of neutrons are generated. But these neutrons again and again should participate in the reaction, and so that energy should be liberated. The fast neutrons are moving towards the walls of the reactor first. That's why they should be reflected back. If they want to reflect back, means the total core of the reactor is coated with some neutron reflecting materials like beryllium or graphite, such type of, and they are called neutron reflector. That also, right? Fifth property, fifth point, neutron reflector, neutron reflector. Neutron reflector. The walls of the core of the reactor, the walls of the core of the reactor, the walls of the core of the reactor is coated with walls of the core of the reactor is coated with neutron reflecting materials. Walls of the core of the reactor is coated with neutron reflecting materials, so that when neutron so that the neutrons colliding the walls will be reflected back and can bombard with uranium and can bombard with uranium for further continuation of nuclear chain reaction. For the further continuation of the nuclear chain reaction. Further continuation of the nuclear chain reaction. Generally, graphite is used as neutron reflectors. Graphite can be used as neutron reflectors. Graphite can be used as neutron reflectors. And one more, because of the nuclear chain reaction, we are saying a large amount of heat will be generated. Along with this lot of heat, one more, some dangerous radioactive radiations will be liberated, and these radiations are harmful to the human beings. Once if the radiations enter outer atmosphere, whenever we exposed with these radiations, which kill the red blood cells RBC and also WBC, so that it leads to the leukemia and also cancer, and finally some genetic problems also, orders also may be caused. That's why we should construct the total core of the reactor or surroundings of the core of the reactor with a thick concrete walls or maybe lead blocks. They are called protective shielding, and so that the radiations may not enter into the outer atmosphere. That is also one more part of the reactor. Last one, protective shield. Protective shield. Protective shield. The surroundings of the core of the reactor. The surroundings of the core of the reactor. Surroundings of the core of the reactor is constructed with. Surroundings of the core of the reactor is constructed with thick concrete walls. Thick concrete walls or lead blocks. Lead blocks. So that we can stop the harmful radioactive radiations, so that we can stop the harmful radioactive radiations to enter into outer atmosphere. To enter into the outer atmosphere. To enter into the outer atmosphere. So these are the main parts of the reactor. So here I am drawing the important parts here. So it is a cooling system and it is a pump. And inside what are using, we can call it as a coolant or cooling system. It is a steam chamber. Whatever the amount of heat generated can be taken into the steam chamber, and here it will be converted to the steam and will be sent to the turbines, so that the turbines will rotate and electric power will be generated. So this can be called as a steam chamber. Here we can send the steam to the other room, and here the cooling system will be sent inside, like water or something we can send inside also, cold water. So it is these are the important parts of the reactor, like and here whatever coating we have given, this can be called as neutron reflector. Neutron reflector. But generally how the process will going on means inside the core of the reactor. So first we have to start the reaction with a single neutron, thermal neutron. Whenever one thermal neutron is made to collide with uranium, then the nuclear fission process starts. It breaks into nearly 2 equal parts, and also 3 neutrons will be liberated. These 3 neutrons again collide with the remaining uranium, and 9 neutrons. Again 9 will participate in the reaction, 27. So in GP ratio, the neutrons will be increased, and inside a large number of the neutrons, and also a lot of heat will be generated because of the nuclear fission. And this a lot of heat from time to time we have to remove. How we can remove? By using the pump, we can send the chilled water or maybe carbon dioxide or maybe liquid sodium inside the core of the reactor. So that will collect the amount of heat and again will send to the chamber, separate chamber. Inside this chamber, so the whatever heat will be there, that will be generated in the form of a steam, and later this steam will be sent to other rooms which are having a turbines, and the steam used to rotate the turbines with a high speed, and because of the rotation of the turbine, here the mechanical energy will be converted into nothing but electric power. So by this way we can generate electric power by using the nuclear reactor. But here from time to time we have to remove the heat. That's very important. Whenever if you want to stop the reaction, we can push the control rods inside. They will capture the neutrons and the reaction will be in our control. Whenever if you want to start the reaction, we can pull the rods outside. In this way we can control and we can conduct the nuclear chain reaction. That is the main purpose of the nuclear reactor. But after completion of the total process, some of the nuclear wastage will be generated in the reactor. Whatever nuclear wastage is there, but we should not throw in the outer atmosphere. That is very harmful. But by using safety precautions, but up to now 100% safest methods not discovered. But up to whatever available means some of the methods, whatever the nuclear wastage we got, first we should convert, that is in the form of steam or vapor. We should convert into solid form by sending a cooling system, and that solid whatever material is the nuclear wastage, we have to bury inside the earth, inside the some places. But what kind of place we have to choose to bury means, the place should not have the population, the place should not contain the water resources, and the place should not possibility of the earthquakes. The type of place we have to choose, and we have to bury inside the ground. That is one method. One more method, here we have to decrease the concentration of the nuclear wastage. For example, one part of the nuclear wastage we have to take, and it is mixed with the 3 parts of the borosilicate glass or pyrex glass, and both will be mixed, and so both heated and again cooled. So that we can put inside in the form of the rods. We can keep inside a huge aluminum tank, steel tanks, and they can also be preserved and in underground. So that's also one more method. So by using this type of methods, we can avoid to enter the radiations to enter into the outer atmosphere. That's about the nuclear reactor and also essential parts, how it will work, and how we can bury or how we can dispose the nuclear wastage. Okay, tomorrow class will discuss the next concept. Okay. So if it is uploaded to the YouTube, better to pause and we have to draw the diagram also, or else we'll send material through your WhatsApp. Okay, thank you.